So yeah, shadow work is not needed in order to successfully manifest something. And especially when I first started, there was a lot of oh, you must heal your inner child first in order to manifest. Oh, you must do this in order to manifest. You must be 100% healed in this area in order to manifest. No, you don't. No, you don't. And that is so detrimental. That is such a really, really, really awful thing to tell somebody, because the thing is, healing is linear. Not everyone can heal like this. Not everyone can heal in even 2 years. Not everyone can heal in 5 months or in 2 months or whatever, or in 3 months, 3 days. You get what I'm saying? You would be telling someone that they have to hold themselves back and they can't have what they want. For example, money. They can't have money. They have to heal their inner child first and then they can receive money. Or they have to heal this first and then they can be loved. And that's just so dangerous to tell someone. Like, why would you ever tell someone that? And I would also say you don't know much about people. So just shut up, you know, like shut up, stop keeping people stagnant. Stop telling people they have to fully be ready in order to receive something. They have to work. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, so if you don't know what shadow work is, at least how I view it is working on yourself. It's like a fancy phrase for working on yourself, for healing, for addressing your inner demons, for addressing your trauma, addressing your wounds, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. As a matter of fact, I'm saying you totally should do that. But I'm saying that you don't have to be 100% in that in order to get what you want. And you don't even have to really work on yourself at all to get what you want. But again, you should absolutely better yourself. You should want to better yourself. Absolutely. But yeah, it's confronting the messier side of yourself that you've been ignoring, or confronting the hidden parts of yourself, like I said, inner demons that could be holding you back from growth, much needed growth. I have my notes here, so if y'all see me look down, I'm looking at notes because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, my straightforward answer to that is no, you don't have to work on yourself. You don't have to address yourself. You don't have to do shadow work in order to manifest anything, because again, the entire point of manifestation, how to actually do it, is to assume what you want is now the truth. Assume that you have this thing. Assume that whatever it is you want is now true. That is how you manifest. Whether or not you've worked on yourself does not determine whether or not you can manifest something, because if you don't understand manifestation, let me tell you, you are always creating your reality. You are always crafting your life. You are always deciding what happens for you, what doesn't happen for you, what they're gonna do, what this person's gonna say, if you get this job, if you have the money. All of that comes from your assumptions. It does not come from, oh, did I journal 10,000 times today? Did I journal about what happened to me when I was 7 today? Did I journal about how much I love myself today? That doesn't really matter when it comes to manifesting what you want. What determines whether or not you can manifest something is yourself, because the only thing you have to do is mentally be that person. You're either being the person who has it or you're not. You're either the person who has it or you don't have it. You have to just change your mindset. Now, I will say for some people, in order for them to change their mindset fully and be the person who has what they want, they may require some shadow work. In order for some people to maintain their mindset about certain things, then they may have to address themselves surrounding that specific topic. Like, for example, if you are manifesting a loving relationship, or you're manifesting your dream partner or whatever, and your dream partner shows up, there are some people who they have the case of they are not really able to maintain that relationship because they end up self-sabotaging, because they have not addressed themselves. They have not addressed the problem, the root cause of why they are self-sabotaging that relationship, or why they are not open to love, why they are not open to receiving love, why they are not open to being with their dream person. Like, oh, maybe it's too good to be true, or maybe this isn't real, something's gonna hit the fan because I can't have it this good. Then that's a situation where you have to probably go in and address yourself. But it's not like that for everybody. So this is what I'm saying. Stop telling people who don't have any issues that they have to find something to work on, that they have to address their inner child when their inner child is fine. Like, not everybody has gone through stuff. Some people are fortunate enough to have not gone through anything at all, or to have not gone through much damage. And if that's the case, no, they do not need to go heal, go learn self-love, go address your inner child, go do something for you. No, all you have to do is change your mindset. But to each their own, like I said. Now, if you are in that specific situation where you're self-sabotaging and you're getting in your own way of having what you want because there are some things that you have not addressed, which, by the way, is shadow work, I would say is a form of self-concept work. But anyway, if you are that person who gets in your own way, then I would say, obviously, yes, address yourself to make it easier for yourself, or else you're going to be fighting. You're going to be fighting yourself, fighting your thoughts, fighting your old programming, your old belief system, whatever. And that's not fun. And that's very draining, and that's very tiring, and it's very exhausting. And if you don't want to be in that state of exhaustion, then you absolutely should address yourself. And I can't stress that enough. I'm not against it. Like, you absolutely should. Why wouldn't you want to make it easier for yourself? Like I said, I think shadow work is a part of self-concept work, in the sense of if you are consistently identifying with your unhealed self, with your unhealed version of yourself, with unhealed parts of yourself, then that's what's going to reflect back to you in your reality. That's what you're going to have to experience, because you have not changed that about yourself yet. So you're going to be stuck in a loop of self-sabotage, in a loop of, this is too good to be true, really just in a loop of your past self. By shifting how you see yourself and deciding who you are, or at least working to be a different person or be a better person, even when those shadows come up, you're not giving them power to define you. You have to understand that you have the power to decide that you are not your old version anymore. You are not your old self anymore. And you are the only person who can change that about yourself. You are the only person who can decide something different for yourself. That's why we always say the only person standing in your way is you. Shadow work can help you become aware of those old assumptions, but ultimately it still comes down to consciously choosing the version of yourself that you want to be. But honestly, in all honesty, why would you want to stay in the same negative cycles, the same boring old cycles forever? I know you're tired. Like, I know you are tired. I know you are tired, and I would be tired too. Like, why would you want to stay in that cycle forever? Why would you want to keep repeating mistakes? Why would you want to keep repeating self-sabotage behavior? Why would you want to keep repeating stuff that makes you unhappy? Obviously, if it's repeated, if it's a repeated offense, then the common denominator is you. You are the problem. Honestly speaking, you are the problem. And like I said, you are the only person who can change that for yourself. You're the only person who can decide that you are someone else, that you are the person you want to be, that you no longer are going to be stuck in this cycle. Messy behavior or unhealed behavior. It just sounds really exhausting, especially when it's negative and it doesn't do you any justice. I feel like not addressing yourself is also a sign that you don't love and respect yourself like you should. Because personally, I would never do anything to sabotage myself. A person who truly loves, respects, and values themselves is not going to sit up here and entertain self-sabotage behavior, whether it comes from someone else or whether it comes from yourself. That's just not how we operate. We would never continue to put ourselves through such madness when there is a solution. Sometimes you just have to get really fed up with yourself and your own bullshit in order for you to experience something different. But honestly speaking, do you really think I'm going to put myself through something negative continuously, purposely? No. You gotta be out your mind. Like, you have to be out your absolute mind to think I would ever do that. And that's where I want you to be too. And I definitely understand that people are comfortable with where they are. They're comfortable with the cycles. They're comfortable with the trauma, unhealed behavior. They're comfortable with the unhealed behavior. They're comfortable with staying stagnant where they are because change is scary to some people. But in all honesty, speaking to you very bluntly, that is a you problem. And that is, like I keep saying, only you can get yourself out of that loop. That is a you problem that only you can stand up and you can say enough is enough, and I'm going to actually work on myself to become a better person so I can stop letting this BS get in my way of getting what I want. Because again, you are the only person who can stand in the way of what you want. And if you are manifesting something and then losing something, that may be because you have to address something within. You have to address, why am I getting this? And then why am I losing it? Because yes, people can argue, oh, the only way you can lose your manifestation is if you think you're going to lose it. Well, some people may think they're going to lose it, but not in that literal way. Like, they're not thinking, oh, I got $100,000, but now I'm going to lose that $100,000. They think it subconsciously in a way where it's like, oh, what if something happens tomorrow and I spend all my money? What if the bank comes to me and takes my money? Oh, but what if this huge bill pops up? Or what if they raise rent and I end up losing everything? Or what if this happens and I have to repair this and I end up losing my money? Those thoughts are versions of, oh, what if I lose my $100,000? It's not very literal. It's just, what if I lose this? What if this happens? What if that happens? And what if this happens? And this is going to happen and that's going to happen. They're probably just not used to having that much money. Therefore, something must happen in order for them to lose that money, in order for shit to hit the fan. Something must happen in order for shit to hit the fan. It's not like it's not fixable. You can totally fix that. or in love, you may manifest the person of your dreams. You may manifest meeting the person of your dreams, but then you may have thoughts like, oh, what if they don't like me anymore? Oh, what if they go to someone else? What if I'm not good enough? What if they get bored of me? What if they leave? Like, what if they leave me? And you may end up self-sabotaging that. That's your assumptions that you have to address because of something that happened to you in the past. Or maybe just because of insecurity, because someone has projected that narrative onto you. And now you think that that may happen to you. That's a possibility for you because it happened for them. Some people do think that way. But bottom line being, if you know you're the problem and you know there is something to address, and you know that you should address this because it keeps popping up in your life, or there's a pattern of this and it keeps happening, then address it. Like, you have to find the courage to address it. Aren't you sick of yourself? I know you're sick. You have to be sick of yourself. You have to be exhausted. It's like, why complain and why wallow? Oh, this keeps happening to me. Oh, this keeps happening. Oh, this happened again. Oh no, this. Oh no. Why me? Like, girl, you know why you. Come on. Stop playing. If you want different, then you have to show up differently. If you want different, then you have to work on changing yourself or change yourself. It can be instant for some people. For some people, it's not. And there's no shame in it not being instant. But yeah, to each their own. Again, I'm not going to sit up here and discourage shadow work. I know that was a little ranty video with a mix of shadow work and old patterns and self-concept and all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is, no, you do not need to do shadow work in order to manifest something. But to each their own. And you absolutely should do shadow work. And you absolutely should address yourself. And no, you don't need a good self-concept. We've been through this. You don't need a good self-concept in order to manifest, which self-concept, shadow work is a form of it, but you get what I'm saying. You don't need a good self-concept in order to manifest. No, you don't. But is it going to help you? Yeah. Should you? Yes. You absolutely should. Or else, why complain about self-sabotaging behavior? Why complain about losing your manifestation? Why complain about, oh, this keeps happening to me? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Change yourself. Work on changing yourself. You don't need it, no, but it's very much so advised, because why wouldn't you want to do better? Emphasis on the advised. It's just not mandatory. So yeah, good luck.